Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How
What's
are you?
your name?
I'm Angela.
I'm great.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, did you make it in here okay?
Yeah, everything
Okay.
was good.
Great. No traffic or anything?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super easy to get here.
Good. So,
Yeah.
what brings you in today?
Well, I have just been having some trouble at work. I just feel like my boss is always on my back and criticizing me in front of other people. And it's a small company, so we're really close, and I just feel like I can't go anywhere without running into my boss. And it's causing me to be nervous and distraught, and I'm just not sleeping well because of it, and my job performance hasn't been as good as it normally has, and because of the nerves that I had before going into work, I've started to smoke marijuana, and I was just coming to get help for that because I don't want to be doing that.
Okay. Well, I just want to let you know that I commend you so much for just being here in general and taking that first step of talking to someone about it,
Yeah.
because that is just a very important step to be taking. So I just really commend you in that. I'm so glad you're here. So I just kind of wanted to inform you on consent really fast before we dig in. So anything you share with me here, I will not be sharing to anyone else without your permission,
Okay.
unless there were signs of you hurting yourself or hurting others, or if there's a court order like a subpoena where I would need to release that information,
Okay.
or if there were signs of child or elderly abuse.
Okay.
But take those situations out. Without your permission, I cannot share anything here unless those instances were to be happening.
Okay.
So you mentioned that your boss has been criticizing you. Could you explain a little bit more about the criticism that he does give you?
Yeah, I just always feel like he's over my shoulder and like looking at every single thing that I'm doing, whether it's on my computer or paperwork. I just feel like he's always questioning me about it, or maybe telling me how I could do it better, but like almost in a demanding way. Not really informative, but more so in a way that he's just, it doesn't seem like he's trying to help me do a better job, but he's like just trying to pick on me. I don't know if he does this with everyone, so it's just my perspective. But it just seems like he's always on my back about something.
Okay. So it sounds like you feel almost targeted by him, that he's like targeting you in a way.
Yes.
So how is your relationship with your other coworkers?
Well, we are a small facility. We do have a small area where we work, but it's just typically work all the time, so we don't have really time for small talk, and it's typically just something about the tasks that we're doing that we talk about, so we don't really have a ton of relationships within the business.
Okay. Okay, well, how is this affecting your life at home at all?
Yeah, I'm having trouble sleeping at night, and in the morning when on my way to work, sometimes I just start feeling really nervous, and then before I go in, I smoke marijuana. So, and then of course it makes my job performance be a little worse than just as it should be, or as it used to be before I started smoking.
Okay. I do want to let you know that my boyfriend smoked marijuana for that same exact reason, for his anxiety to calm down, so I do understand where you're coming from with that. And again, I commend you for wanting to take those steps to just get out of that habit, and I just, again, really commend you for that. So this small space that you are in with your office, do you find your boss like continuously in your area in comparison to the other coworkers? Because I know you do feel targeted. Are there any specific things that he does that just cause you to feel that sense of like anything that triggers it the most, your anxiety?
Yeah, I just feel like it just always seems like he's watching what I'm doing, and he might be watching what everyone's doing, but from my perspective, it just seems like he's always looking over my desk, over my shoulder, and my computer.
Right.
Also, almost as if he's suspicious of something, but I don't think that there's anything to be suspicious about.
Right.
And again, I'm not sure how he acts with my other coworkers because I'm not as observant with them, but I just know from my perspective.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna do a little exercise with you.
Okay.
So if you could close your eyes
Okay.
and just picture you leaving here, you going home, you doing your nightly routine, and you go to bed, and then overnight a miracle happens, and you are just, your day ends up being exactly how you want it to be, and in a sense a perfect day. Could you just explain to me what that would look like?
Yeah, I would wake up and I would not smoke marijuana before I go to work. I would be calm. My nerves wouldn't be there. I would feel like my boss and I and my coworkers would have a good relationship, whether personal or just on a work-based level. Maybe my boss wouldn't be over my shoulder all the time, or I wouldn't feel like he's always in my space. Yeah.
Okay. Has there ever been a time where you have felt like that? Like you have felt like this day was just similar to the day you just described?
Yeah. I mean, when I first started working there, I was new and, I was trying to get used to the rhythm of things and my boss and my coworkers, and I think if anything, it would probably be when I first started working at this job. But since then, I haven't really seen like a breakthrough with that, if you will.
Okay. Do you have any close coworkers that you can confide into a lot of the time?
Not really. I mean, we work in small quarters,
Right.
like I mentioned, but we don't really have like a relationship on a personal level because after work, we're all tired and just want
Right.
to go home. So
Completely understand.
it's not really a relationship building workspace. It's more of just get the job done and go home, and you do it same thing the next day.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. Through this, I'm able to just see what you value, and it sounds like you value being able to go to work and not being anxious so you don't need to smoke marijuana in the mornings to feel calm. You value your just ability to not feel like you're being watched all the time by your boss, and that makes complete sense. Have you ever thought about would you like to consider have you ever thought about finding a new job or looking outside of the job you're in right now?
I haven't really considered, or haven't even thought about it. That might be something that I could consider, but I haven't. Work has just been really busy lately, and I feel like I'm in over my head, so I haven't really had time to think, maybe I should switch jobs.
Right. Okay. As a goal I know we're meeting our next session in the next 2 weeks. Does it, correct me, I'm just going to kind of show you the goals that I feel like would be applicable for this situation. So we're meeting in 2 weeks, and within our next 2 weeks, would you like to maybe apply to or just look for another job within the first at least once a week, but until we meet? Okay. And another goal that I'm sensing would be maybe to start weaning away from smoking in the mornings and seeing how you react in the workplace without it, and then we'll talk more about that as well. So maybe you said you smoke almost every morning, you said? Okay. Would you like to try to keep it at maybe 3 times a week?
Yeah, that seems like it might be doable.
Okay. So, just kind of to just go over what I learned today. You were at your in your job you feel constantly criticized by your boss and you feel targeted and you would like to be able to go to work without feeling anxious, and resorting to smoking weed in the mornings, or marijuana in the mornings. And goals for next time would be smoking 3 times a week instead of 5 whenever you go to work, and applying or exploring other jobs at least once a week until we meet again.
That sounds great.
Okay, great. So how do you feel about our conversation today? Was it helpful?
I do think it was helpful. I think it was nice to be able to get another perspective on the situation, even if it's just from my perspective. And it just helps me get a little bit more clarity and just process it a little bit better.
Okay. Well, great. I'm so glad you came in today. Again, I really commend you for taking this step.
Thank you.
And I'll see you again in 2 weeks.
That sounds great.